Howdy, 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 my name's Anachi Sasuke, and welcome back to reading spooky shit at terrible times of night. I'm really gonna have to think of an actual name for this series. But in the meantime, in the last episode we read about the factory, and it was a story, instead of just words. Now we're going to read Dr. Mann's proposal of SCP-01. Is that it? Okay. Object Class Embla. SCP-01 is contained on the grounds of Site-0 in upstate blank, probably New York. A fence has been constructed around the perimeter of its observed effects. In addition to Site-0's security, no fewer than 5 armed guards are to be present at all times to prevent unauthorized entry. The adjoining physics laboratory will be manned at all hours, studying any anomalies. A small metal plaque bearing an inscription will be maintained in good condition. Any damage is to be immediately reported to maintenance. Description: SCP-01 is a circular gravel path in a wooded area. When traveled in counterclockwise direction, the trail is continuously uphill, even after reaching the original point. When traveled in a clockwise direction, the trail shows the same amount of uphill and downhill travel as expected. Level 5 clearance is required to access SCP-01's experiment log. New members of Overseer Council are required to read Document 00105. Isn't that the thing I just read? I think that's the thing I just read. Let's double check. Yep. Okay then. Now let's check what Dr. Mackenzie thought 001 should be. Well, they said Euclid class. Special containment procedures. All elements of SCP-01 are to be contained in separate environment-controlled lockers at Site-0. The location of Site-0 is classified Level 5 and is only known by members of O5 Command. Access to it, its transcriptions and data is restricted to O5 level personnel except during Protocol 0. Protocol 0 may be enacted by a direct unanimous act by the entirety of O5 Command, and Protocol 0 procedures are to be disseminated only to those specifically permitted by O5 Command. Description: SCP-01 is a set of two objects and 33 documents belonging to Data Expunged, alias the Administrator. SCP-01 and SCP-0101 and SCP-0102 are respectively Data Expunged. 3 through 35 are a mixed set of handwritten and printed documents. They are normal in all respects except that they do not show signs of aging or fading in any way, and dating of the paper on which they are comprised has shown inconsistent results. The contents of these documents, as detailed below, consist of data expunged, data expunged, data expunged, data expunged, as these objects form the impetus for the creation of the SCP Foundation and all of its constituent activities and processes. As such, this information is only to be disseminated by direct order of O5 Command as per Protocol 0. Okay, Addendum. Analysis of SCP-0101 and SCP-0102. SCP-0101 is a smooth device composed... Would comprise still work? I don't fucking know. Of an unidentified gray metallic substance approximately 22 centimeters wide, 30 centimeters tall, and 1.5 centimeters thick. I don't know what that is in inches because I should really just know centimeters by now. Anyway, it is unusually heavy, weighing approximately 8.2 kilograms. It is equipped with a small digital display and has a single opening that appears to be a type of keyed activation switch. Attempts to disassemble the device or analyze its technology have been unsuccessful so far, as there appear to be no seams or fasteners visible on the device. Attempts to image the interior of SCP-0101 utilizing X-ray or magnetic resonance have resulted in inconsistent results, suggesting that the device is either too dense to properly image or has inconsistent internal topography. SCP-0101 appears to only be capable of displaying 2 indicators. One appears to be the status or progress bar with an accompanying number, currently at approximately 23%. The other indicator is a single-digit counter displaying the number SCP-0102 is a small key, composed of the same unidentified metallic substance as the main casing of SCP-0101. It is currently assumed that this is the activation key for SCP-0101. Addendum 00102. Transcript of the documents. SCP-03... Was just going to go through all of them? Okay, we'll just skip it along. Okay, page 1. I always hated the idea of writing in a diary. Documentation is one thing, but I guess I never saw the point in putting down my personal thoughts. The scientist in me is telling me that someday, someone might want to know how all this started. Except from page 3. They say that the first time is always the hardest. I managed to secure funding and personnel from the federal government, and I've established an organization that will allow me to continue the research. President Redacted insists that I turn the device over for safekeeping, but I have made it clear that I can't let it out of my possession. Excerpt from page 7. Progress, unfortunately, has been slow these past decades. I'm adamant that we cannot reproduce the technology until we have found a solution, as I am sure that unless we kill both birds with one stone, we will simply hasten the process. Page 9. I had to kill them. They had been reproducing the technology all along and hiding it from me. I'll be moving on in the next 24 hours. This place is doomed at this point. Page 15. Again, I will not make the same mistake again. The mere thought of lying to the very people I need to reach my goal is bitter, but I can no longer afford to let them know the truth. SCP-05 is a page printed from what appears to be an inkjet printer, found inserted between pages 15 to 16 of 03. This page has been preserved in the same unidentified method as the rest of the documents in SCP-01. Memo from the Office of the Administrator. Humanity has existed in its current state for hundreds of millennia, yet only the last few have held any meaning for us. What did we do for the countless years before recorded history? We huddled in caves, warding off the night with small fires, fearful of the things that we could not understand. It was not just that we did not understand why the sun rose every morning. It was the mystery of enormous fish with the heads of men, and rocks that came to life, and monsters that drove those who saw them mad. So we called them angels and devils, begged them to spare us from their wrath, and prayed for salvation. As time passed, their numbers died out, and mankind flourished. The world began to make more sense, yet the unexplained can never truly go away, as if the universe requires for there to be things we can never truly understand. We will not go back into the dark, fearful night. We will not be ruled by the unknown. We will stand up for ourselves. Even as the rest of humanity remains uninformed, we will fight the darkness. Kingdom Hearts! Containing it and shielding it from the eyes of the common man, so that they can continue to live in the blissful illusion of a normal world. Page 22. Their faces haunt me in my dreams. Hundreds, thousands of them, ones who blindly went to their deaths. For me. Page 28. Made a mistake. Told someone the truth the night before I left. Had to use the last of my original medical supplies. In a way, I wish he'd aimed for the head. Page 41. Oh, is that what that story was from earlier? Probably. This one solved an equation that could set a framework for the rest of the solution. I killed them by my own hand. Could they have ever imagined that it was an act of mercy? I suddenly remembered today that, that's page 64, what they told me before I left. They said that I probably wouldn't see anything. That I would probably simply fall asleep and wake up again. They lied. I can see them as they are consumed by madness, as the walls of reality crack and shatter only to be replaced as if nothing happened. I can see everything. Excerpt from page 68. Final excerpt from SCP-0103, page 68. It's finally done. The equations are complete, the math is sound, but it comes too late once again. This team will not have the time to construct the solution, and I will have to abandon the Foundation again. But I do so with the knowledge that no more will have to suffer the same fate. SCP-0134 is a worn, handwritten page discovered between the front cover and the first page of SCP-0103. To whom it may concern. First, I want to say that I am sorry for everything. I have most likely doomed you and everyone you have ever known to death and destruction by my mere presence in your world. If you are in possession of, and reading, this document, then I am probably dead. If that is the case and I did not bother to destroy this evidence, that means I have also probably failed in my mission. This means that my responsibilities have now passed on to you, and that your fate and the fate of your world are now in your hands. Actually, there's a mouse in my hand. I was not born into your world. I am a traveler from a parallel plane of existence, an alternate reality separate from your universe. The year from which I originate is of little consequence. If I've learned anything from my travels, the passing of time from universe to universe is meaningless. What is important is that in my plane of origin, mankind was highly advanced. We harnessed the power of entire stars, molded planets and moons alike to suit our needs, and even learned to manipulate the fabric of reality itself. We had conquered death through our advances in medicine and technology, and we thought ourselves masters of our own fates. We realized too late that all such things have a cost, and that our greed and hubris would not only result in the loss of everything we held dear, but doom countless others as well. Our meddling in the structure of existence had opened up cracks and twists in the fabric of reality, a corruption of the multiverse that we had failed to notice earlier because we could not see the pieces of our reality leaking into others. By the time feedback began to manifest, it was already too late to stop it. Before this corruption consumed us completely, we came up with one final failsafe. We would gather up what knowledge we could save and sacrifice our world to send a single individual to the next. This could not repair the damage that had already been done, but could buy us the time to start over, to find a way to stop the corruption of reality. That individual was me. If you have not already found them, then the evidence to support my claims will begin to bleed into your world soon enough. Like a rain of glass, the shattered remains of other universes will begin to fall and slip into yours. Things that defy your understanding, fixed loops and structures without meaning or rhyme, that cannot be destroyed by any means you possess. Things that drive men mad and challenge all the assumptions that you hold dear. That which I carry with me is the final legacy of countless worlds. The equations and technology described in its pages carry with them the hopes of stopping the corruption, a hope that has come with a heavy price. They are the last will and testament of a bloody trail of universes that have sacrificed and been sacrificed, that those who remain may avoid their fate. At the time of this writing, they are nearly complete, but time is ever against me. If I am no longer able to see this mission through to its bitter end, then it falls to you to finish what I began. Good luck, Data Expunged, the Administrator. SCP-0135 is a single handwritten page found between the last page and back cover of SCP-0103. The handwriting in SCP-0135 is inconsistent with that of the other handwritten documents in SCP-01. Data Expunged. This is it. The last evidence that our civilization will have ever existed. No one is entirely sure what will happen when you activate the failsafe. Some of them are saying that the backlash from using it will instantly shatter what remains of our existence. Others are saying that using something of this power will merely accelerate the corruption by 100-fold. Either way, it will be quick. By the time you wake up at your destination, there will be nothing left of our home. You already know that it will only carry a single passenger, and the second team should have your gear ready by the time you're ready to go. I can only hope that with the time we've bought you, you can find a way to stop this disaster. If not, the device will keep track of the relative corruption level of local reality as well as how many times it's been activated. A bit sadistic of us, perhaps? By the time you read this, I will already be dead. I'm sorry, but you've always been the stronger one. I don't have the strength to face the end with my head held high. Not without you. I love you. Addendum 0103, SCP-0136. References found within the document comprising SCP-01 suggest that the existence of SCP-0136, an electronic device or a large document containing comprehensive technological and mathematical data related to SCP-01. The current whereabouts of it are unknown. Okay. The Foundation. Wait, so a disparate path legacy was... okay. So I think I was supposed to be doing the database next. Yeah, database was next. Okay, item SCP-01, object class Keter. Special containment procedures. There is no means to contain SCP-01 yet found that does not risk a potential ZK reality failure event and subsequent destruction of the observable universe. See Containment Protocol ZK-001 Alpha. Current procedures are limited to the absolute containment of information regarding SCP-01. No data regarding the nature or description of it shall be provided to any personnel with the sole exception of the senior member of O5 Command, currently O5 Block. All data collected in regard to SCP-01 shall be stored in encrypted form via redacted, with the decryption key split into thirds. Each member of O5 Command shall memorize 1/3 and only 1/3 of the decryption key. Data shall only be decrypted on a network-isolated eyes-only terminal to be read only by the senior member of O5 Command, and then only after unanimous consent of O5 Command. Leaking of data about SCP-01 through espionage, telepathic leakage, original research, or redacted must be contained by any and all means available to the Foundation. The senior member of O5 Command, as the one person with the authorized knowledge about SCP-01, is the final arbiter on containment. Foundation personnel of level 2 or higher who discover data about SCP-01 in the course of their normal duties may be given a Class A amnesiac after debriefing rather than being terminated. This is subject to O5 approval on a case-by-case basis. Description: expunged. Addendum: log 001 alpha. Date: January the 12th, 19-something. Incident: documents appear on internet site. Redacted. Servers seized and authors traced to redacted. Resulting explosion explained as gas leak. Monitoring has not shown any further propagation of documents. Date: March 31st, 19... Incident: script with possibly compromising information option for production by Pictures. Original scriptwriter redacted. Agents successfully replaced script with one rewritten without blah. Film is produced with the title blah blah and grosses $27 million on its opening weekend. Date: June 19th, 19 blah. Novel outline describing blah. Redacted. Submitted to redacted by best-selling author blah. Attempt to neutralize author unsuccessful, leading to high-profile hospitalization. 05 authorizes the use of a Class A amnesiac amnestic to prevent more attention to case. Outline recovered and destroyed. Date: 05-2 blah 20 blah Z. Incident: Foundation research 20% discover. Emergency Containment Protocol ZK-001 Alpha 05 eyes only. Enter decryption key. Well, I don't have that, but it sounds like whatever day that was, the thing got out. Oh, I can click that. But I'm not gonna, because that doesn't sound wise. But I am going to search a couple of things. Let's see. The Matrix opening weekend. Yep. And what day did that come out? March 31st, 1999. Best-selling author, blah blah. And let's see, when was it that Stephen King got hit by a car? June 19th, 1999. Yep. And I wonder what book he may have been working on back then. He's 69 years old. I just want to say that these were just guesses based on what it sounded like. I did not know what year Stephen King got hit by a car. I did not know what year The Matrix came out. But it sounded like it might have been talking about Stephen King and The Matrix. Anyway, now we're on the Foundation. But the database thing sounds like something that's going to get into the internet and destroy everyone. But that's about what most things in this Foundation seem to do, is just destroy everyone. Scantron's proposal. UIU file 0041. Altered high school building in blip. Confirmed anomaly number 3. Object class 53. Highly intrusive. Unknown capabilities. Unknown nature. All these things are crossed out. Under no circumstances should any personnel attempt to enter CA3 or communicate with the persons inhabiting it. However, any person known to have been inside CA3 at any point must be detained and interrogated. A direct military assault on CA3 has been deemed unfeasible at this point due to the unknown capabilities of the entity or entities by which it is controlled. This is a summary, as it does not contain all information relevant to Ka3. For detailed information about Ka3, see UIU file 0042 through 0218, Director blah. UIU. Okay, so that's some sort of school or something. Let's see. Confirmed anomaly. Oh, okay, it means confirmed anomaly 3. Is to be surrounded by an electric fence no less than 30 feet high and guarded by the United States Army's platoon. Any footage or photographic evidence of CA3's interior is to be excised as soon as possible and all witnesses detained indefinitely. Okay, so known information. The unusual incidents unit was alerted to Ka3's existence on September 7th, 1954, when students attending Blip High School reported that the interior of the building was vastly different than it had been at any point in the past. Upon discovery, Ka3 exhibited several unusual, if not inherently paranormal, traits. Nearly all walls in the facility had been replaced with steel-reinforced concrete, although several rooms were constructed of other materials for no readily apparent reason. All exterior windows had been covered from the inside. All students' desks, personal effects, textbooks, and other materials expected of a public high school were completely absent. Lockers were still present, albeit significantly smaller and constructed of stainless steel. The arrangement, location, and size of rooms and facilities did not match blueprints for the school. Often, rooms would exhibit seemingly random modifications, although the number of changed rooms is currently unknown. No less than 17 computers were found, each of which made use of state-of-the-art magnetic core RAM. Prior to its classification as a confirmed anomaly, high school had no computers. All files on the computers were inaccessible, and the computers themselves are firmly bolted down. The auditorium is inaccessible due to a large steel wall completely blocking the doorways. Attempts to move or damage this barrier have been ineffective. The extent and purpose of the barrier are unknown, as are the contents of the auditorium. A team sent into Ka-3's interior to do a complete survey, Team Ka-305, did not return, nor did a second team, Team Ka-306, tasked with locating the first team. The facilities are currently under lockdown pending new containment protocols. Update. 23 days after initial recovery, guards reported white noise emanating from Ka-3, the volume of the noise increasing the closer one got to the auditorium. 5 hours later, the white noise stopped, although the sound of voices was audible from the interior of Ka-3. This one sounds like an episode of Welcome to Night Vale. Upon further investigation, it was found that the building now contained a large number of persons, all of whom appeared to be wandering aimlessly through the facility. Notably, each individual was physically identical to a member of Team Ka-306, despite the inhabitants of Ka-3 vastly outnumbering the members of Team Ka-306. Attempts to interview or detain the inhabitants were thwarted by Classified. The 12 members of Team Ka-305 were not found. In addition to the aforementioned, the interior layout of Ka-3 has changed significantly since the previous investigations. No mechanism which could explain this has been identified. Update! 3 months after the previous incident, white noise was again heard emanating from the auditorium. This time, the decision was made to investigate immediately. It was found that most of Ka-3-2, the designation given to the inhabitants of Ka-3, had gathered near the doors of the auditorium. A circular hole roughly 6 feet in diameter had formed in the steel barrier. Although the interior was not visible, at 0310 hours, which I guess is 3:10 in the morning, an item resembling a classified emerged from the hole and was carried away by an inhabitant. The item was placed in one of the classrooms, which had not previously been observed to open. This process continued for upwards of 8 hours, with a new item being produced once every 3 minutes. Most were seen entering a different room or locker, although insufficient personnel were available to track all items. Further investigation revealed that most, if not all, of the items produced exhibited anomalous properties themselves. A significant portion of Ka-3-2 are involved in either guarding the items produced, collectively Ka-3-3, or performing various tests on them. Update. 2 days after the previous incident, 3 identical armed guards appeared near each entrance to Ka-3. Further attempts to enter the building were futile, as these guards have consistently overpowered all teams sent to enter Ka-3, regardless of injury or relative level of armament. Note: reports gathered during the 2 days prior to guards manifesting outside Ka-3 appear to confirm that Ka-3-2 is following standard UIU protocol regarding the items produced by the auditorium. Their knowledge of UIU standard procedure is consistent with that of Team Ka-305. During the UIU tracking of Ka-6, 2 men identical to Agent Dixon, a member of Ka-3606, emerged from a parked car and forcibly detained Ka-6, dragging him into a car and driving away. Tracking the vehicle for the next 8 hours revealed that it was driving directly to Ka-3. Upon arrival, the vehicle drove directly through the front doors, which the guards had opened shortly before their arrival. Ka-6 has not been recovered. UIU File 0042 message received from Ka-3. On May 15, 1965, the following message was transmitted in Morse code from Ka-3 on a standard UIU communications frequencies. Sensitive data has been classified, and the beginning of each sentence has been capitalized, but the message has not otherwise been changed. Hello! We are the O5 Council, and we secure, contain, and protect. We have been shown to do, and it would be nice to be friends. It is nice to have been a part of your excellent, but it is best with superior resources given the greatness, we will control containment. Our sincerest apologies regarding guards and detainment, workers, and secrets kept needed. The time and waits, we apologize. The radio blocked 1 SCP or 2. Expect an expansion soon, for we spaces for although away from auditorium. Okay, but on what? 8 hours later, the following transmission was received. Expanded now. See the blip. Federal building is now functional. Need doctors, guards, D-men, recruiting. Anomalies found and further possibly international. Researching of course possible. International may be days, weeks to do. Further, we 05 are aware, sorry, 206 missed, that legible barely, but go between auditorium not blah. Goodbye and luck with your troubles. For further information, see UU file 0 blip, altered federal building and blip blip, confirmed anomaly 10. Okay then, that's weird. Although I think it's interesting that it would be called Scantron because schools and Scantron tests and SATs. Let's see now. Dioric Dematrix proposal. Oh, excuse me, Dematix. Item SCP-01. Class humanoid. Threat level green, circumstantial red. Containment class Euclid. What the hell? I should probably read it for real. Special containment procedures. Instances of SCP-01 are to be contained within standard humanoid containment modules. Under no circumstances are there any instances of SCP-01 to be stored at the same site, allowed to interact in any manner, or to be made aware of information regarding other members of the group. Personnel assigned to any single SCP-01 subject are not to be made aware of the other instances of SCP-01 or the connections among them. SCP-01 subjects are not to come into direct contact with any other anomalous items outside of approved testing. Revised, blip blip 2000 blip, 05 Special Order A1130X. In light of the events resultant in SCP-0105's death, the use of SCP-01 subjects in the neutralization of anomalous objects is hereby prohibited. All care is to be taken to keep SCP-01 subjects alive and unharmed. Recovery and containment of SCP-01 subjects is to be considered highest priority. In the case of a death event, Ouroboros protocol is to be initiated as soon as possible. Description: SCP-01 is a group of 36 individuals designated SCP-0101 through 0136. There is no apparent pattern in the terms of ethnicity, gender, age, or religious affiliation amongst them. SCP-01 subjects display no anomalous, anomalous properties of their own. However, any anomalous item, entity, or property brought into close proximity of them will be greatly modified from its original properties. Most often, this will result in a lessening or total nullification of the properties. The pizza slice. Those properties not nullified will be changed so as to display consistency between objects of similar properties. All of these effects are instantaneous and will occur without any input from the subject. The area of these effects will expand when multiple SCP-01 subjects are brought together, as well as the intensity of changes. Multiple SCP-01 subjects are capable of nullifying anomalous effects without being aware of the presence of said objects. All subjects of SCP-01 seem to be instinctively aware of information regarding other SCP-01 subjects, generally the total number of the group and details between 1 and 3 individuals. This knowledge is vague, making locating uncontained subjects difficult. The death of an SCP-01 subject will result in the manifestation of multiple anomalous entities and phenomena in the area. These manifestations will be of such a scope that traditional containment measures are unfeasible and will result in significant casualties and collateral damage. Contained SCP-01 subjects have claimed that this is a result of the deceased individual absence letting things through, and that further events will be more severe as time progresses. In addition, contained subjects have claimed that any deceased individuals will be replaced by a newborn bearing the appropriate properties. No such individuals have yet been located. See Document 001X for a list of notable modifications made to items by SCP-01 subjects. A full listing of all notifications may be found in Document 001N. Addendum. Known members of SCP-01 are as follows. See. A 94-year-old Jewish German dude, contained. Currently in induced stasis to prevent death. Numerical identification code tattooed on left arm. Tamil, 88-year-old woman. Was pregnant at time of containment. Child born without incident, currently under Foundation watch. British lady, 91. She's recorded as dead in 1943. Han Chinese, male, 97. Contained. First subject to disclose information regarding other subjects to the Foundation. Taoist priest of the Quan Zen school? Pashtun, 101, deceased, died in containment. See Incident Report 15X for further details. Italian female, uncontained. Escaped containment 8 days later during breach at Site 90. No idea where she is. 52-year-old Polish Argentinian, and progression of GO-116, the Horizon Initiative. Russian 5-year-old, in possession of unknown individual or group. No family members have been located. Aboriginal Australian woman, 31, uncontained. African American male, 28, uncontained. Nigerian male, 45, contained. His family was present during his recovery. Eldest son offered armed resistance to the Foundation personnel despite his objection and was neutralized. Remainder of family administered Class A amnestics. Arabic female, 14, deceased. Killed by members of GO-103, the Chaos Insurgency, during the recovery effort. Korean American female, unknown age, uncontained, actively frustrating recovery efforts. Navajo male, 23, contained, recovered during by Foundation personnel after contact had been made between the subject and SCP-1295. See document 001-EX for further details. Addendum 02. 001 through 00101 through 05 were initially recovered on 1944 in Jerusalem during an investigation of supposed miracles and other anomalous events in the area by HMF SCP. They were found in the care of 3 individuals classified as POI 1458, POI 1459, and POI 1460. Said individuals possess possible ties to GOI-16, the Horizon Initiative, and may have had a hand in its founding. The recovery effort was hindered by factional fighting within SCP-101 was severely injured in the resulting firefight, but was successfully stabilized and recovered along with the other subjects and passed into the jurisdiction of the Preservationist faction. The individuals responsible for sheltering SCP-01 subjects fled during the fighting and were not able to be apprehended. Okay. The following interview with SCP-0105 was recorded on 19. You spoke last time of having a specific purpose. Could you explain? I am here to help set things right. Okay, so number 5 is Pashtun, 101 years old. I don't know what Pashtun sounds like, so I'm just going to read it. Go on. The road is broken, Doctor, and my brothers and sisters and I are here to heal it. To gather together, prepare the way for what is to come. The process has already been set in motion, though regrettably there have been some setbacks. Please explain. SCP-0101, he was the one who was to gather all the rest. With him now hovering between life and death, that duty falls to us, but we know only glimpses of few others in our number. It is enough. You don't fear for his safety? Death is just another part of what it means to be. It's nothing to fear. An admirable view of things. How did you learn of your purpose? I had a dream. Portent, prophecy, hallucination, call it what you want. Or what you will. It planted a seed in my head, an intuition you might say. It was the next day that I met that person. Can you describe the dream? There was a man in rich clothing like a king or emperor. He kept saying, "Where's the tailor? Where is my tailor?" and pacing back and forth. Each time he asked it, another voice would answer, "He is close now, he is close at hand." But he did not arrive. The man became more and more upset, and as he paced, moths came and landed on him, and began to eat away at his clothing. His robes began to fray and rot as more and more moths landed on him, and some even bit his skin. But then the doors opened, and there arrived not one tailor, but dozens, led by the most masterful tailor in the kingdom. The king was overjoyed, for he knew he would be saved from the moths that tried to consume him. I woke up then, and I knew. He found me, and I followed him. If you'll pardon the dramatic phrasing, when all of you come together, the world will end, correct? Doctor, the world has already ended. This was to be the last war. The world's time has come and gone, and it is stretching thinner by the day until there will be nothing left but the moths. But there's still some time left. We can find each other on our own. And when that happens? Quiet days, Doctor. Quiet days and peace. Ah yes, authorized personnel only to read these things. Oh, okay, clicking it makes them open. Security mimetic. What sword shall you use? A katana? Okay, I'm just going to skip these and move on. It's probably just talking about the death and destruction that happened trying to get them. Okay, so Read the Foundation. Was that the 36? Okay, that was the 36. What's Keter duty? I think it's another story. Rajet's proposal. Object class Thaumiel. Special containment procedures. The containment procedures for individual instances of SCP-01-K have been mandated by Overwatch Command and are to be enacted simultaneously as SCP-01's total containment protocol. Personnel assigned to different containment units are to be segregated from each other and are only to enact their assigned containment. Access to the complete or partially complete containment master document is limited to level 5 personnel. In the event that personnel attempt to learn the overall containment procedures of SCP-01 or attempt to expose different SCP-01-K instances to each other, they are to be given Class V amnestics and removed from their assignment. I wonder what the heck that means. Okay, a ritualistic symbol is and was engraved into the entrance of every containment chamber within SCP-01. The entrances are to be sealed in a room with a neutral atmosphere, and any damage to the seals must be repaired immediately. Damage or defacement of these symbols will cause the effectiveness of the containment chamber to gradually degrade over time, to the point where the containment cycle will be unable to sustain itself. All instances of SCP-01-K in containment are held within SCP-01. Only personnel with level 6 clearance may interact directly with SCP-01-K instances. Additional objects within Foundation containment have been given Keter classification to maintain appearances of the object class. Instances of SCP-01-K are not to be released from SCP-01 unless the hastening of a VK class reality restructuring event becomes a desired outcome. If the Overwatch Council approves this measure unanimously, Foundation personnel will be contacted by level 6 personnel for further instructions. Description: SCP-01 designates the source of all anomalous artifacts classified as Keter. Documentation for personnel with clearance under level 5 are to refer to these objects by their SCP blah 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 documentation. SCP-01 is a facility located within Redacted, although its interior comprises of significantly more area than this region contains. The exterior appears to be a large, nondescript research facility. Attempts to document SCP-01's outer appearance and details resulted in conflicting and contradictory results. Attempts to map the interior have yielded contradictory floor plans. Its interior space is roughly equivalent to an office or military complex with enough space and facilities to support 450 people. There are 384 SCP-01-K instances currently known to exist. SCP-01-K designates any anomalous object which has originated from SCP-01. All instances of them were present at the discovery of SCP-01, although some have since been lost. Each instance is kept in a place by another entity with anomalous properties of each separate object neutralizing the effect of the other. Where was I? When any containment cycles for instances of SCP-01-K are broken, the containment chamber will be affected by a reality warping anomaly. Interior spaces will begin to operate under a new set of physical laws which conform to the properties of the newly uncontained SCP-01-K instances. These areas are hostile to human life and will begin to aggressively expand if other SCP-01-K containment breaches occur. Currently, no containment breaches have occurred since September the 18th, 1999. Let's see if there was anything significant that happened for real on that date. Sorry, I burped. On September, not September 11th, 19th, 1999. Where's the 18th? Okay, it was 18th. Historical events. I'm going to need to move ahead a little further than that. Oh, a little bit more. Little bit more. We're almost in the, okay, we're in the right century now. What happened in 19... Who did what? Mickey what? Oh, Mickey Mantle. Damn it. Okay, next page. Don't you give me any pop-ups. Okay, 1999. 24th Toronto International Film Festival. American Beauty directed... Well, that doesn't seem very important. Anyway, SCP-01 was originally documented by American mercenaries serving in Greece following the Second World War. Once the anomalous properties became apparent, several organizations claimed control over the area, but the group was able to prevent SCP-01 from falling into outside control. Control over SCP-01 was voluntarily turned over to the Foundation in 1949. Data from this period of SCP-01's containment has not been recovered to date due to the breach of several SCP-01-K instances, rendering large portions of SCP-01 impossible to enter. Let's see. Objects designated as SCP-01-K. SCP-718 and 689. Ooh. Positioned as mummified human corpses in a triangular pattern around 689. Occasionally, they will also simultaneously look away, causing it to manifest on and terminate them, which will cause additional SCP-718 to form. Instances of 718 will then resume observation, manipulating 689 back to its original position via the eye stalks. What the fuck? Yeah, this is weird. Addendum. I'm sorry, have we been reclaimed? We can see the other side, things are different, but we take it in stride. Proposal is the new order of immediately. Okay. Research on existing K-class objects is to be rolled back and established at the bases needed to contain rather than propagate. We've had too many casualties from the disasters, and it's time to move back to the way things were before the... Okay. So that was I guess the explanation of what Keter is. The children. Actually, you know what? I've hit 41 minutes again. I actually hit 42 minutes. So we're going to probably continue with the children and finish up SCP-01 in the next episode. So, this has been Anachi Sasuke. This was something SCP, something freaky shit. And I will see y'all next time. Later.